In the last session, we have seen that the options up to 10th point, how to edit the existing beam if you would like to divide it, how to edit the existing beam if you would like to join it, how to break the slab, how to join the slab. These all things are required when you are going to edit the existing model, correct the existing model if there is any modeling error. At that time, it is needed. Otherwise, if some kind of modification you want to do in existing model, at that time this editing, dividing the beam, adding the beam, dividing the slab, adding of the slab, so all commands are required. As well as this alignment of the joint, alignment of the frame, okay, alignment of the moving of the joint, moving of the frame. These all are the what required for the correcting of existing model. At that time, these all things are required. Second point is what? Very, very important. How to assign the point load, uniformly distributed load, uniformly varying load. So these 3 points are very, very important. Actually, this is not the 3 point. These are the 3 types of loading. A point load, uniformly distributed load, uniformly varying load, and area load. So point load is very simple. If you would like to assign the load at any particular point, so we have to assign the point load. I think I don't need to discuss this assignment of point loading. We had discussion about it in detail at the time of validation of the software. Then thereafter, uniformly distributed load. How to assign the uniformly distributed load over your existing beam. Uniformly distributed load will include your wall load and the wall load coming over your beam. So how to assign that? That is what under uniformly distributed load. Second is uniformly varying load. That also we have seen how to assign the uniformly varying load. Only the part is remaining how to assign the aerial load. Suppose your existing model is there, and if you are willing to assign, if it is needed to assign the area load will comes over the slab. So you know that what is the units. If you are talking about the point load, so point load will be in your, if the point load is there, so point load unit will be kilonewton, very basic. Line load or uniformly distributed load, obviously it will be in kilonewton per running meter second. And third, your area load, that is suppose there is a presence of slab. So if you would like to assign the loading over the slab, so that is going to become kilonewton per meter square. So these are the units of the area loading. So now here I would like to assign the load over the floor slab. So go to plan, come to any particular floor, and suppose I would like to assign the load over this slab. First, you need to select the slab, then go to assign, then go to shell loads. Under these shell loads, you need to assign the uniformly distributed load over this option. And suppose I would like to assign the load under the live load pattern. So check this live load pattern, and you know very well what is the application of these 3 options. I don't need to discuss it again. Now, here I need to put what? Suppose 2 kilonewton per meter square area of loading I have to assign. See, look at the unit. Unit is what? Basically, it is kilonewton per meter square. So intensity I have to put here as 2 kilonewton per meter square. So just go to this option and clear this all. Now close it and put here it as 2 kilonewton per meter square. And let's just simply apply. If I'm going to click over this apply, so this assignment, yeah, here, this slab, suppose I'm going to put as 7. So 7, just click over this apply. Now it is converted into, why it is not showing? Replace existing load, here it is checked. Okay, first select this slab, delete existing load, let's say apply. Actually, yeah, it is applied by some other option, that is I will talk on later stage. Let's consider this slab is present. Okay, now select this slab, go to assign, go to shell load, go to uniform, and under the live load pattern I would like to assign 2 kilonewton per meter square. Let's say apply. So yeah, see, 2 kilonewton intensity of the loading has been assigned over this floor slab. So this is the procedure how to assign the area load over your slab. Very, very simple. That will help you when we are going to start a project. Okay. So you know that how to assign the point load, how to assign the uniformly distributed load, how to assign the uniformly varying load, and then how to assign the area loading over your slab. Thereafter, the next point, defining of reinforcing bar sizes. Very, very important if you like to become a professional structural engineer. So how to define the bar sizes in your ETABS software. And when you go to define, in define option, there is an option of defining of where it is, yeah, go to section property. In section property, there is an option reinforcing bar sizes. Once you click over this, okay, here the diameter of bar. What diameter of bars you would like to use for your project? The list of diameter of bars you have to create here. As I told you in the previous session also, in define section, we have to create all the list. We have to create all the definitions that is needed in your actual model. Some basic definitions को यहाँ पर सेट करना है और वो बेसिक डेफिनेशंस को हम लेटर स्टेज पर यूज करते हैं. तो यहाँ पर डिफाइन है, देन आपका ड्रॉ है. सो ये ड्रॉ ऑप्शन से आप मॉडलिंग कर सकते हैं, लेकिन डिफाइन से आपका कुछ कोई सॉल्यूशन नहीं मिलने वाला है आपको. फ्रॉम डिफाइन ऑप्शन यू आर गोइंग टू क्रिएट द लिस्ट. आपको लोड पैटर्न क्या क्या यूज करना है, तो जो आप लोड पैटर्न यहाँ पर सेट करेंगे वही आगे यूज कर पाएंगे. आपको लोड कॉम्बिनेशन क्या क्या चाहिए वो आप यहाँ पर सेट करेंगे, देन ओनली यू विल बी एबल टू यूज दैट ऑन लेटर स्टेज. आपको लोड केसेस क्या चाहिए, सो डिफाइन में दिस इज फॉर बिगिनर्स. ओके, सेक्शन प्रॉपर्टी में आपको कॉलम की कौन कौन से सेक्शन प्रॉपर्टी चाहिए सारे आपको डिफाइन करना पड़ेंगे. तो आपको बीम के क्या प्रॉपर्टीज चाहिए दैट यू हैव टू डिफाइन. सो एवरीथिंग इन द डिफाइन यू हैव टू डिफाइन फर्स्ट, देन यू हैव टू यूज ऑन लेटर स्टेज. तो क्या क्या चीजें इसमें हम लोग वन बाय वन सारी चीजें कवर करेंगे टाइमली. ओके, नाउ आई हैव टू सेट दी रीइंफोर्सिंग बार साइजेस. So go to define, go to section property. In this section property, the option is what? Reinforcing bar sizes. Check this option. आपके कौन कौन से डायमीटर आपको यूज करना है. Like suppose I am going to limit to myself as I have to use 8 mm diameter of bar, I have to use 10 mm diameter of bar, I have to use on 12 mm diameter of bar, 16, 20, 20 and 25 only. ये सारे others bars को मुझको यूज नहीं करना है. So I am going to clear this all bar. First, clear the list. Now bar ID, like the label of the bar. So I am going to give that, like whatever the diameter I am going to use, same I am going to create as a bar ID. So suppose I am going to use 8 mm diameter of bar, so I am going to put 8. Then what is the area of 8 mm diameter of bar? Can anyone tell me fast?
50.4 mm square.
Yeah, 50 point whatever something is there. So you need to remember that. Not only to define here, not only to put the value here, on later stage when you are going to prepare the schedule and detail, okay, at that time knowing of this area is very very important. As a structural engineer we are going to work, so like there is no any option except of remembering it is all areas. What is the area of 8 mm diameter, 10 mm diameter, 20 mm diameter, 25 mm diameter. So these all common diameter of bars that we are using for most of these structures you need to remember. And if you are not knowing of the areas of each individual bar, so I will share this document with you all guys, so you can remember that. See, here it is given. What is the 6 mm diameter of bar area? 28.27. So round up value you can remember. If you are not willing to remember this, if it is difficult for you all to remember, so you can remember round up value 28, 50, 78, 110. So this will help you to find out the number of bars, how many number of bars, like when you are going to use the ETABS software. So ETABS software will not tell you about provide 4 bars of 16 mm diameter. ETABS software will not give you this value for the column. Just for example, software will tell you what? 828 mm area of reinforcement required for your column. Then how you will come to know how many number of bars you have to provide. So you need to know unit area. If I am going to provide a one bar of suppose 12 mm diameter, so I need to know what is the area of 12 mm diameter. Can anyone tell me what is the area? 113. So 8 to 8 divided by 113. So you will get total area requirement divided by unit area requirement. So I will get 7.32 number of bars are now. So I will provide as 8 number of bars. So in my column, I have to provide 8 number of bars. So when it becomes possible to know how many number of bars are required, when you are knowing unit area of bar for a particular diameter. Okay. So that's why I'm telling it is very important. If you are going to use 8 mm diameter of bar, if I'm giving 1 meter length of the bar of diameter 12 mm, so you should know that what is the weight of a 12 mm diameter of bar whose length is 1 meter. So it's almost what? 0.889 kg per meter. But if you are not willing to remember it, so it's okay. But at least you have to remember the unit areas. Just come back to your ETABS. On later stage, this diameter will not showing. This area will not showing. Bar ID will show, will be in the list. So I can identify by giving the 8. So I can identify this is the 8 mm diameter of bar. And then what I will have to take 10. Then here 12. Then here 16. Then here 20. Then here 25 like this. bar area, it is what centimeter square, 10 raised to minus 2. So like 8 mm diameter, how much? 50.26, I think. So I'm going to say 0.5626, sorry, 5026, right? Then 10 mm diameter of bar is how much? 78 point. Yeah, it is going to become 0.78 and 54. It is going to become 54. Like that, 12 mm diameter of bar, 10 is 2. So 0.1.13, then 113 second, 16 mm diameter, 201. So 2.01, 20 mm diameter of bar, 314, 3.14 and 25, 490, so 4.9. Now here it is what actually diameter you have to put. So 8 it is what? It is 10, it is 12, it is 16, it is actually 20, it is actually what? 25. Like this you have to put here, and let's say simply okay. So right now there is no need to define it. But on later stage, when you are going to analyze, design, schedule and detail in this ETABS software, so that list will be needed. So I would like to share with you like how to define these all things that will be needed on the later stage. Okay, so that we have seen, and what is the formula and all for finding out the unit weights per meter length, that all actually here it is written. If you would like to see the calculation, that you can read this file, I will share it with you. Okay, now coming back to the next option, how to add additional elevation section at required section. Very important, very interesting part it is. Okay, like suppose, okay, select this, right click on your mouse, set grid system visibility. Now grids are now here, it is visible. Your ETABS software will give the option to see your model by its in plan, by its in elevation, or by its in 3D view. Software will give the option to view your model, see plan view. I would like to see the 3D view. So go to click here, 3D view. If suppose you want to see the elevation, that is also possible. But the problem is what? Go to plan, come to any particular floor, and suppose I want to see the elevation along this line. So will it possible for me? Yeah, it is possible for me because the grid is present to that line. So when I'm going to look at the elevation, so go to elevation. So like it is the first grid. So grid 1, let's say apply, close it. So these are the different columns are present along this grid line. Okay, so I will be able to see the grid line along this direction. Okay, go to plan, come to any particular floor. Okay, now I want to see the elevation along the grid 2. So go to elevation along the grid 2. Let's say apply. Now that is also possible. What 2 columns are present here. Now go to plan again at any particular floor. I want to see the elevation by any need for any purpose along this direction. So tell me, is there any grid available in that line? Yeah, the grid is present here, G grid. Okay, so I'm going to elevation. I would like to see the model elevation about the grid G. Let's say apply. This is all done. That is also possible for me. But sometime what happened, try to understand. Okay, go to plan, come to any particular floor. Now here, due to any reason, suppose I want to see my model along this line. Will it possible for me?
No.
Is there any grid available along this direction?
No.
देखिए जितने आपने ग्रिड बनाया है, अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट ग्रिड लाइन सॉफ्टवेयर विल गिव यू, यहाँ पर देखिए A B C up to M and 1 2 up to 8. About all these grid lines you will be able to see your elevation, sectional elevation. But if you are trying to see your model along any particular line about any particular beam where the grids are not available, then at that time what you need to do, that we are trying to understand. So is it possible for me by the normal approach to see the elevation? No, not possible. Okay, now what we need to do to have the elevation about this line, very simple it is. See, you need to go to elevation. In elevation there is an option, add at a selected beam, but this option is not enabled here. There is a problem for me. So the beam you have to select about which you want to see your elevation. First you need to select that element, then you need to go to elevation. Now that option is available here. If I'm going to click here, add one additional sectional elevation view about the selected beam. Then click over that. Now one more section line is added, which is along the beam 29. This is actually the beam 29. Now I would like to see along this direction. Let's say apply, close it. So only the beams are there in that line. Second, again, once more, try to understand, go to second floor. Now suppose I want to see the elevation along this line. Will it possible for me to see the elevation along this line? No. Okay. Select the beam. Then go to elevation. Yeah. Let's say apply. Add selected beam. It is B52. Let's say apply. Now the elevation along that particular line. So now we have seen that how to add additional elevation option. So to have a look over the elevation about the required line. Okay, so this is the option. Go to plan. Once more I would like to show you. Go to plan. If suppose you want to see the elevation, right click, set grid system visibility, and suppose I want to see the elevation about this line, about this beam, but in actual there is no grids available along this beam. So first, without of selection, if I am trying to go to elevation, and this option will not be available here to create the new elevation section. So first you need to select the beam about which you want to add the elevation option, then go to elevation. After making the selection, then this option will be available here. Add a selected beam, that will be added here. When you click over this apply, so now elevation will be added here. Okay, so that is the case how to see the elevation where the grid lines are not available. Okay, just go to plan, come to any particular floor, let's say apply. This is all done. Right click and clear all. After that, go back to this option, add this all done. How to see the element properties, analysis and design results by taking the option over element. So it is very important and very interesting. Like suppose I want to see the label of the beam. So what I need to do, I need to go to this set display option and go to object assignment, frame label, let's say apply. This is all done. So labeling of the element, you can see this is the column number 10, this is the column number 3, this is the column number 2, column number 4, beam number this. So if you want to see the frame label, go to view, I think, yeah, view, set display option. Here, object assignment, I will explain this set display option in detail after some time. So, but for an instant, if you want to see the frame label, so go to this label option. Then you need to go to shell label, means for the slab labeling, shell label, let's say apply. So now this slab is of F floor 17, floor 18, floor 19, beam 21, beam 23. So it is long way. Okay, I just want to see this beam number plus or beam level plus I want to see the size of this beam. Then what I need to do, again I need to go to set display option, go to view, go to set display option, then go to object, then section property, let's say apply. Now section size or section property will come here, 230 by 600 M25 grade of concrete. Then I need to see whether the releases has been assigned or not. So like for everything I need to go to this option and need to go to set display option, and we need to check everything separately. But another option will be what? Instead of looking at every element, if you want to see everything about any particular element in just a single approach, so what will be there? Just go to this set display option of these all options right now. Let's say apply, close it. What you need to do if you want to know the property of particular element, so go to that particular element and right click over that element. Again, once more, you have to go to that particular element. You don't need to select that. You just go to that particular element and right click on your mouse. So what you will have, this information dialog box will give the all information about that particular element. It doesn't matter, it is the beam, it is the column, it is the slab, whatever. It will give all the, I can say, biodata of all the information about that particular element. So suppose I want to see this beam. I'm taking my cursor here, right click over that. So I will have everything about that particular element. What is the geometry? What is the section size? What is the span? Whether the releases has been assigned or not? What is the label? At what particular floor it is? What loading is there? Whether it is designed or not? Everything you will get from here for that particular element. More about it. Just go to this. Once you right click over that, okay, very first geometry. So when I'm taking my cursor here on the left hand side, so for the horizontal, the software is considering I, left label joint I, and right label joint as J. So that is what end I, that is joint label name is what 97 it is, and it is end J joint it is what I think 15, whatever, let's say 15. And see, this is the what we are calling it ordinates of this joint x, y, and z. Ordinates of this joint x, y, and z. Very simple. This point and this point. Okay. Now, if you want to know what is the total length of this beam, so that also you don't need to go to draw dimension line, then checking that. Okay, that all things you don't need to follow. Take your cursor, right click over that element. It is what? What is the length of this beam? 2.68. Very simple. And it is what the ordinate. Close it. Just take it downside. Go to this ordinate. But no, it is not working. First, I need to close it. Not taking my cursor. What is the ordinate of this point? X and Y?
9.49. 9.7.
Here, those who are not knowing, see, just look at here. Take your cursor at the left hand side. How much it is? 9.49, 9.27, 13.6. 9.49. Then next, 9.49, 9.27. 9.49, 9.27. And 13 point something, yeah, 13.6 it is for the end I. Then for the J, it is what? That I need to look at. It is what?
12.17.
9.27, 12.17, 9.27, and it is what? 13.6. Okay. If I'm taking cursor, Z is what? 13, because both of the ends are one level. Okay, one floor, one level. So right click on your beam. So end I is it 9.49? Is it right? And J, X ordinate is what? 12.17. Then it is what? 9.27, 9.27. And Z ordinate is same for both of the end, 13.6, 13.6. So that is the case. Now, one more thing we missed to cover here. Here, this beam is at 4th level. That also you get from 4th level. Beam label is what? B70. Unique name of this beam is 758. So that is what the basic geometry information about this beam. Now assignments. What properties are there? Section property is 230 by 600 M25 grade of concrete. This is the section name. Property modifier, whether the property modifier has been assigned or not. Yeah, property modifier has been assigned to it. That is there. End releases, so everything. Then loads, ये beam पर कौन से loads हैं? So there is a uniformly distributed load under the SIDL load pattern. What does mean by this SIDL load pattern? That you will come to know from here as 10.35. Then design. So everything, there is a concrete frame design. So concrete element it is. So that will be represented here. Now close it. So everything you will get from here. Take your cursor over the slab. Right click over that. Now for the slab, it is the 4th floor. Label of the slab is F10. Unique name is 104. Okay, first go to geometry. There is a what? For the slab, rectangular square, how many points will be?
4.
This is the first point, this is the second point, this is the third point and fourth point. Or how many edges are there? One edge, second edge, third edge, fourth edge. So 4 edges are there. Edge 1, edge 2, edge 3, edge 4. All these edges are straight. So straight, 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 straight. If anyone is of curved, so that will be represented here. Ordinate of every joint will actually present here. Total area of the slab, here it is present. Centroid is present here. Perimeter is present here. Everything of these geometrical properties of this slab is actually written here, actually given here. Coming back to assignments, when you come to see the assignments, so it is what the slab of 125 mm thickness, diaphragm. What is the concept of diaphragm? You don't need to worry about. That is the part of advanced concept I will cover at that time. Now rest of all things, what assignments you have given to this particular slab, you will find from here. You don't need to go anywhere. सारी चीजें आपको यहीं पर मिल जाएगी. लोडिंग क्या आपने असाइन किया है? सो ये किचन है. सो किचन के ऊपर लोडिंग, ये किचन क्या है ये आगे आपको समझेगा. So that loading has been assigned. Okay, now it is the 4th level F10 and unique name is 104. Now close it. This is all done. Next, for the column, you just have to take your cursor to that particular element. आपको वहां पे लेकर जाना है और right click करना है. Take my cursor to the center of the column. then right click over.
Right click.
So what I'm getting?
Details, geometry, assignments and loads.
No, it is wrong. Actually procedure is right. यहाँ पर आपका टॉप में ज्वाइंट है ना? आपको मैंने पहले ही बताया था, when you are going to model the column, so एक पर्टिकुलर फ्लोर पे अगर आप कॉलम मॉडल करने हैं, your column is going to be modeled on down side. So आपका एलिमेंट एक्चुअली डाउन साइड में, टॉप से आप देख रहे हो. सो एक्चुअली अगर आप ये प्रोसीजर फॉलो करेंगे, when you are taking the cursor, so आपने ज्वाइंट का प्रॉपर्टी देख लिया. तो इसके लिए क्या करना होगा, आपको 3D व्यू करना है. गो टू 3D व्यू, then find that particular column. कहां पर वो कॉलम है? Is it possible for me to find that column? कहां पर है वो कॉलम? ये तो डिफिकल्ट हो जाएगा. Okay, if you are getting the column, so what you need to do? Same procedure. Take your cursor to that particular element. Without of selection, just right click on your mouse. So you will have the property of that particular column. Column number 20. लेकिन अभी प्रॉब्लम ये है, if I am taking the 3D view, so is it not possible for me to find the column? Is it right? Then what is the solution of this problem? Very simple. The option is what? इसमें थोड़ा सा difference होगा. You have to take your cursor to the center of the column as usual. Press the control button on your keyboard. Take your cursor at the center. Then right click on your mouse. So you will have this dialog box, selection list. Just come down and this is the column. Only one column will be there. Okay, nothing else. Column 13. Let's say okay. Now you will have the details. What is the geometry of this column? The height of this column 2.85. Assignment of this column, it is the column 230 by 725 grade of concrete. Loads, design, everything is now present here. Okay, by just right clicking over that element, you can see the property of that particular element. On the other hand, once your analysis gets completed, okay, just go to analyze option. Don't need to worry about all other things that I'm doing. Okay, ये सारी चीजें आपको बाद में पता चलेगी. अभी हम आपको कुछ शो करना है. Just perform the analysis. When only the normal view of the undeformed shape of the element is there. Okay, when you are right clicking over the element, so you will have the property. Lekin when you are going to follow the same procedure, when you are having the analysis result, so go to display, go to force stress diagram, frame pier spindle, movement along 3 let's say apply. This is the bending moment. Now if I am taking my cursor over the element, if I am going to right click over that, so what I am getting? Analysis results. When you are having the normal mode of the model, if you are going to right click over that, so you will have the properties of that element. But if you are going to look at the result, okay, analysis result is there, and if you are going to right click over that, if your model is analyzed, and if you are going to right click over that, so you will have what? These stresses in the member, how much shear force is there, how much bending moment is there, how much deflection is there, everything you will get. But for this, your model should be what? Analyzed. So this is the another thing. See, for the slab, if you are going to right click, so for all that element. इसी तरीके से जब आपका डिजाइन हो जाता है, let's say perform the design. Suppose once the design gets completed of your model, so what will happen? Design results will be there. And if you are going to follow the same procedure, when you are going to right click over the member, so you will have what? Design result. So options same है, procedure same है, approach same है, but आपकी मॉडल की कंडीशन के साथ आपको रिजल्ट्स मिलेंगे. Okay, your model is designed. Now I am going to approach to this beam. I am going to right click over that. अब देखिए क्या आ रहा है आपका? Design result आ रहा है बीम का. So approach is same, but if simple model is there, so that will give you what? Basic information. If model is analyzed and bending moment diagram is there, shear force diagram is there, and if you are going to right click over that, so you will have the analysis results. And if your model is designed, at that time, if you are going to right click over that, so you will have the design result. Just close it. Okay. So this is the case, how to see the result by just looking at or by just approaching to your element in different situation. Now, next, after this, I need to go to plan. Okay, what next option is there? So we have seen that how to see the element properties, analysis and design result by taking the option over the element. Now, next, snap option. Very interesting. This will help you when you are going to start the modeling. So very first setting you need to do, correcting of snap option. Go to snap option. So many options are there. timely I will explain everything, but right now here midpoint, most important is what? Midpoint. When it will help you, like suppose I have to take the beam from the center of this beam. Now suppose, okay, unlock your model. Suppose I have to model the beam, so go to frame, close it. This is the point. Now I want to know the center of this beam. Is it possible for me to see the center of this beam? It is not possible for me to see the center of this beam. So like how I can get the center? So some of you may say that take the total length of this beam, then divide that span and then find the center. Will it be effective way?
No,
No.
sir.
Okay, that is not possible to do. So right click on your mouse, go to snap option, and here the option is what? Line ends and midpoints. Just check this option. Let's say apply, close it. Now go to frame, close it from this center, and I'm taking my cursor to this. Now I'm getting what? Center point, midpoint. From there I can start my work. That is what the advantage of checking this option as snap option. Second, perpendicular projection. Like suppose I'm giving the situation where the beam is present here, one beam, another beam is suppose present here, like this. Okay, now I want to project this beam by reshape option. It is what I will talk about, this reshape option on later stage. So if suppose I want to have the intersection at the exactly at this perpendicular point, so is it possible for me
No,
to put
sir.
it at the perpendicular point? Even it is vertical, it's a very easiest situation I'm giving, but still you will not going to sure that it is going to be projected at perpendicular angle. If suppose I'm giving the situation, undo this, suppose the frame is like this, one frame is like this, now another frame is present here. Okay, now I have to model the beam. I want to draw the beam from this inclined beam and from here to here like this, but this angle I need to have as 90 degree. Will it possible for me? That is not possible. Okay, so for that what I need to do, I need to delete this beam, clear this all, and go to snap option, right click on your mouse, go to snap option, and here perpendicular projection, check this option. Let's say apply, close it, go to frame. From here, suppose now I need to find the perpendicular projection where it, yeah, see, yeah, it is the perpendicular projection. Now I am sure it is right. Now I'm going to click here. Now it is the perpendicular projection. So that is what the application, how to draw the beam. Clear this all, delete this. What some other options we are trying to look at? Now see, line and frame. Okay, let it to be checked. Intersection. Yeah, intersection is very important. When two points are going to intersect, when two lines are going to intersect, that also be checked. Now parallel. Check this parallel. Let's say apply, close it. When you are going to take the beam, one beam you are going to take here, parallel sign here, it is why not showing. Actually these all are useful under the situation, different situation. Parallel line, so it is showing what? Why it is not showing? That I'm not getting. Close it. Actually two lines here it is showing over the line. This kind of presentation will be there, that will show you your line is what? Continuous, parallel. Okay, so that presentation you can ensure that your line is what? Parallel. Suppose I need to have the line with this 30-degree angle, so I'm taking my line here. See how I can ensure that this angle, so here the line is showing, this kind of representation will be there. With that we can ensure that the line is what? Parallel. But here it is not showing. Why I'm not getting? Okay, we will see it later on later stage. So this will help you to do the modeling in a smart way without of having the errors. So timely we will look at every option. Okay, so now close it, snap option. Now come back to the next set display option. That is the most important one. Go back to your ETABS and set display option, close it, delete it, take the 3D view, right click on your mouse. I don't want to see the grid system visibility. and go to this, clear this all. Okay, now here set display option. So go to view and set display option. As by the name of this option, you can identify that what it means. Set display option, with which option you want to see your model, or what important things you want to see in your model in front of you over your screen, that you have to set with this set display option. So once you click over this, so you will have this set display option window. This is the long way to get access to this. Another, if you are going to set your quick access bar, so there you will get the option set display option. Click over that. Okay. When you come inside of this, so three options are there: general, object assignment, other assignments. Come to general first. Here, view by color of. So by the object. So in the last session, we have seen that go to option, go to graphic color, go to display. So these are the object color. Column color is what? Blue. Beam color is what? Blue. Shear wall color is what? Red. So it is what? Object color. If I am going to change it to what? Black. Shear wall is black. Say okay, okay. So here shear wall is showing by the black color. Why? Because we are looking at the model by the object color. Okay. I want to see my model by the color of object color, and here the object color of beam is actually red one, or let's say green one, this green one. Say okay. Now the green. So these are the what? Object color. But in the set display option, I don't want to see my model by the object color. Now I want to see my model by the section property. Very interesting. Section property. Section property means what? Okay, go to define, go to section property, frame section. As I told you in the last session also, और अभी भी मैंने आपको बताया, जब आप मॉडलिंग करने जाते हो तो सबसे पहले हम लोगों को चीजें को सेट करना पड़ता है. We need to create the list what will be needed in your modeling. बिकॉज मॉडल आपको क्रिएट करना है, उसके लिए आपको पहले डेफिनेशन सेट करना पड़ेगा. कॉलम साइज, बीम साइज, स्लैब साइज, शियर वॉल साइजेस एंड सो मेनी थिंग्स आर देयर. आपके पास वो प्रिलिमिनरी साइजेस होगा, प्रिलिमिनरी डेफिनेशंस होगा, तभी आप मॉडल कर सकते हैं. व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू डिफाइन द सेक्शन, बिकॉज ये पार्ट मैंने कवर नहीं किया है, अभी आगे मॉडलिंग और सारी चीजें आएगी, हाउ टू डिफाइन द सेक्शन प्रॉपर्टी एंड ऑल. सो बट हियर द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज व्हाट? कलर. हर एक इंडिविजुअल एलिमेंट का, हर एक बीम टाइप्स का आप कलर चेंज कर सकते हो. सो दिस इज व्हाट 150 by 600 M25 grade of concrete or beam section is there, 150 by 600, whose color I am checking what? Pink color. Okay, close it. 230 by 600, its color is what? Red color. Okay, okay. Go to plan, come to any particular floor, क्योंकि आपका बीम जो है वो आप टॉप से प्लान व्यू में देख सकते हो आपका बीम. So in plan view, now I want to catch where the beams of 150 by 600 mm section size is there. What is the color of 150 by 600? Section size of the beam of color of beam 150 by 600. What is the color of that? Pink. Okay. Now go to set display option. I want to see my model by the section property. So check this option. Let's say apply. Okay. See, pink color beam is present here. Can you find from here where the pink color beams are present?
Yes, sir.
So that is the way, that is the application. And this red color beam 230 by 600. Okay. Column color will be what? Sky blue color. So let's check it. Go to define, go to section property, go to frame section. Column color is what?
Cyan.
Okay. So that is what the application to view by the color of. आप अपने मॉडल को कौन से ऑप्शन के साथ देखना चाहते हैं, that you can define from here. By the object, by the section property. So it is not just for the entertainment. Try to understand. These all options are having the application. Like when you are going to deal any big project where at one particular floor, 1,000 beams are there. And in that 1,000 beams, like suppose 300 beams are having of different section size, another 300 beams are having different section size, then remaining 100 beam is having another section size. So suppose if I am telling you, just let me know where the 230 by 500 depth beam is there. So will it be possible for you to find that? तो उस केस में आप क्या करेंगे? सो अगर इस वे से देखेंगे, सो आपका थोड़ा काम इजी हो जाएगा. So that is the case. That is what the application. Go to set display option again. So here we are looking at our model by the section property, by the object property. Okay, hope that you all understood. Now second option is what? Material property. Check this option and let's say simply apply. Now material property means what? Go to define. Go to material property. Very first option is what? Material property. So material property में हम लोगों ने M25 grade of concrete, because see your RCC element, if you are talking about the beam, so it is actually composite element. Composite element means what? There are two materials. One is your concrete, another one is what? Steel. So that's why it is a composite element. बट अगर मैं इसको ओवरऑल देखूं तो क्या दिखेगा? ये स्टील तो आपका अंदर से होता है, बाहर से क्या दिखेगा आपको?
कंक्रीट ही दिखेगा,
कंक्रीट ही दिखेगा. सो एक्चुअली इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग, यहां से आपको कंक्रीट, तो कंक्रीट का आपको देखिए यहां पर कंक्रीट का कलर क्या है? ग्रे कलर है. सो ये ग्रे कलर आपको दिख रहा है. बट इफ यू आर गोइंग टू डील एनी बिग प्रोजेक्ट लाइक G+60-70 फ्लोर बिल्डिंग, सो वहां पर आपका एक ही मटेरियल नहीं होता है, वहां पे डिफरेंट मटेरियल्स होगा. M45, M50 और कहीं पर M35, M30 ग्रेड ऑफ कंक्रीट ऐसे यूज होगा. उसमें कुछ बीम हो गया आपके जिसमें M45 यूज हुआ है. सो इफ आई एम टेलिंग यू, जस्ट लेट मी नो वेयर द बीम्स इन विच देयर इज द यूज ऑफ M45 ग्रेड. विल इट बी एबल फॉर यू टू फाइंड दैट? Let's consider, go to define, go to material property. Suppose I am going to use one more material property, concrete material. Just go to add and concrete. Don't need to worry about how to define it. Don't think that I don't know how to define. I will cover all these things on later stage. Go to define, go to material property, go to add new property. Suppose M30 grade, and color I am going to change it to what? This blue color. Okay, say okay, okay, okay. ठीक है. Now go to define, go to section property, go to frame section. Now 150 by 600 mm size of the beam for this, the material where previously was M25, I am going to change the material as what?
M30.
Say okay, okay, this is done. Now just refresh it. Now see, some of the beam is showing by the what? Blue color, means the section size of that beams are what? 150 by 600. Okay.
230.
Here we don't need to identify the section size. Here we need to identify what?
ग्रेड ऑफ कंक्रीट.
So ये blue में कौन सा ग्रेड यूज हुआ है आपका?
M30.
और रेस्ट ऑफ अदर एलिमेंट्स में कौन सा यूज हुआ है आपका? M25. Understood the application of this? Just come back to set display again. So this is the first thing, material property. उसके बाद groups हैं. By the groups. Okay, groups के लिए क्या होता है? For an example, close it. Now, first I want to see by the normal object view. Say apply, close it. This is done. So go to define. Here I need to create the groups. Group definition. So here all, if I am going to look at by the group, so only one option is there, all, where all the elements in one group and the color of that is what? Yellow color. Now I am going to add one more group where the beam of 150 by 600 and the color of it what? I would like to take as a black color. Okay, and add one more group where the beam is what? Of 230 by 600 is another group. It is what? Taking the green color. Let's say okay. Okay. Now go to select, go to property, go to frame section. All the 150 by 600, select all of them. Now I would like to take all these 150 by 600 depth beam in one group. So here we have defined. Don't think that just by defining all that beams are coming in that group. No, here just we have defined the thing. Now you have to take all these beams, all these selected beams of 150 by 600 in that created group. So you need to go to assign. In assign, go to assign object, whatever the object that you have selected, then take all selected object in your defined group. So assign object to a group. Now group is available here. Now say apply. Then go to select, go to properties, frame section, 230 by 600. Let's say okay. All the beams of 230 by 600 is selected. Go to assign to particular group, and it is what the second group. Let's say apply. Okay. Now close it. Go to set display option. Now I want to see by the group. So when you go to group, so in group, it is what the option is there. I want to see by the group of all or by the group. Okay. Once you check this all, let's say okay. Say all. First groups, select all. Okay. And let's say apply. All
Yes, sir.
will be included in one. In what color?
Yellow color. Yellow.
Now go to select. I want to see by the group of beam. What is the color?
The black color.
Only that beam, and remaining will be what?
Blue color.
No. Here if I am checking this beam, so ये black दिखेगा आपको, बाकी rest of will be included as in, तो वो yellow दिखेगा. Let's say apply. Sorry, first say okay, then say apply. Now go to select this 230. So remaining क्या दिखेगा? 230 by 600 क्या दिखेगा आपको?
Blue, blue.
Blue.
Yellow. Okay. Let's say apply. Green लिया था हमने. Hello.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is what, in this way you have to use.
Yes,
Now
sir.
then next frame design type, then black and white color printer, stories. So these are also important, but we are going to jump to stories. Stories means what? What is the color? Go to define, go to editor, go to edit story and grid system, go to modify. यहाँ पर हम लोगों ने color देखा था, story color. So this is blue, and this base, actually that also I want to make it as blue. This also I want to make it as blue. This also I want to make it as blue. Green, then sky blue. Then this is a sky blue. Say okay. This is blue. Okay. Then this is the red one, upper two. Red. Now say okay. This is done. Okay. Say okay. Now go to set display option. View of the model by the color. Go to this stories. In a story, let's say apply. So this is the first thing only we have covered. Now next, object present in view. Actually, very interesting. Okay. First go to set display option and make it as what? Object view. By default, let's say apply. Now close it. Suppose this is your model and I'm giving the situation or condition where I want to make the selection of all the beams at this 5th floor. How I can do that? Another thing, suppose there is a one option assigning of floor diaphragm. एक option high rise structure का है. There we have to assign the diaphragm to all the slab of each individual floor. You have to take another situation where I have to assign different loading for the beams of first floor 10 kilonewton per running meter. For the second floor, I have to assign the loading to all the beams as 15 kilonewton per meter. Like for the third floor, I have to assign 20 kilonewton per meter. And for the fourth floor, 25. For every next floor, the intensity of the loading is going to change. So like at every floor, what I need to do? Selection of all the beams for the assignment or not. So tell me what will be the approach. Now suppose for the first floor beam, I have to apply the intensity of the loading. How much? Tell me. 10 kilonewton. So no, that is not much important. Important is what? I need to make the selection of all the beams of this first floor only. Okay. Go to select. ये हम लोगों ने जो learn किया है, the basic approach. Go to select. Go to select.
Object type.
And select the beams. With this, what will happen? All the beams of your model is going to be selected. But our intention is to make the selection of the beams only of the first floor. Okay. So go to select, go to deselect, go to story. All the above floors and all the lower floors except of first story, say deselect. Right? But see, I will assign the load. Go to assign. Go to frame load. Go to distributed. Here I have to assign support under the live load as 10 kilonewton. Let's say apply. Okay, close it. Move to the next. Then again go to select, making the selection of all. Then going back, deselecting all. Like suppose I say आपके 30 floor है. This will be the effective way? No. So आपने सही बताया. You are right. The option is what? अभी ये next जो point है, go to set display option. Here in the general, there is a what object you want to keep in view. So here joints are there, column, these all are the object. Beam is your object, column is your object, slab is your object, joint is also one object, spindles are one object. So all the different objects. Suppose I need to do this. So what I will do? Object of, columns of, beam let it to be present, null of, floor of, wall of, everything will be off. Let's say apply. So what things are present only in view? Beam. अब मेरे लिए easy है. What I will do? I will drag from left to right. In once, all the beams will be selected. I will go to assign, will assign the load, come to the next, dragging from right in once. Again, I am going to select, move to the next, drag from left to right. Again, the selection is there. Move to the next, select the selection. This one is the easiest one or the last one is the easiest one? This is the easiest one. Now, once your work gets completed, go back to set display option, make all others to be visible in view, keep in view. So what things you want to keep in view, that is what possible. आपको अगर column रखना है, rest of all things, these all options are useful under the different situation. Okay, column will be there only, say apply. So yeah, only the column joints are also there of this joint also. So yeah, only the columns are there. Now, this is your 3D view. Right click and show all object. Sorry. Okay. Now, suppose this is your model, right click, set grid system visibility. Suppose this is your 3D model, but you know that here the beam has shown by line element, column has been shown by line element. So it is not the realistic view of your model. So if you want to see the more realistic view of your model, you need to go to exclude the frame. Go to this option as exclude frame, say apply. So all the frames, frame include your beam and column. So all the beams and column were excluded. So it is what realistic view. If you want to exclude the shell, check this. Let's say apply. Shells are also excluded. So it is what more realistic view. But if you want to see further more realistic view of your model. So for that, if you are using the higher version of ETABS software like 18, 19, so instead of 15 and 16, अगर आप 17, 18, 19 यूज कर रहे हो, so you have to press Control X. Is what your more realistic view. Close it. But if you are using what 16 version, 15 version, so when you go to view, there you will get option show rendered view. This will not be written there. That's tracing option, ray tracing. Okay. So what only show rendered view is there. So you just have to click over that. So you will have that view. But if you are using higher version of ETABS software like 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, so you have to say Control X. Okay. Now close it. This is all done. It is what extruded view. Next, these are the special items. If you want to see the diaphragm, whether the diaphragm has been assigned or not, story label, go to undeformed shape, go to plan, come to any particular floor. If I'm going to look at the elevation along the grid J, let's say apply. So like a label. So the option, go to set display option, story label. So right click, grid system visibility, story label. So yeah, if the grid is on, then only you will be able to see the grid label. And if you want to see the grid label, so story label, so you need to check this option as story label. Dimension line and architectural plan layers, so this all will come on later stage. I will talk about that. But for instance, these all things are important that I have covered. Now go to object assignment. In object assignment, go to plan, come to any particular floor, joint labels. So say apply, So these are the labels of the joint 20, 37. These beam and beam column intersection joint are 68 label. Unique name of this label say apply. Unique name is 946. So these all are given by your software. You don't need to worry about. Okay, हम लोगों को इसका कुछ भी लेबल नहीं देना है. Software will define everything, will give everything. Okay, spring property, panel zone, these are the advanced topics that is not needed to discuss right now here. Shell assignment, slab का label आपको देखना है. Let's say apply. So label F1, F2, F3, F5. If you want to see the unique name, say apply unique name 54. If you want to see the sections, say apply. So it is slab of 125. It is slab of 125. All the slab having the section as slab of 125. Whether the stiffness has been assigned or not, go to stiffness modifier, say apply. So there's no stiffness modifier has been assigned. Local axis, you know the local axis of the slab. So these are what the local axis of the slab. Area, spring and all things are there. For the frame, label, apply. Frame label, beam number 70, beam number 8, beam number 32, beam number 26. Unique name of these beams and frames 441, 61. Section label, section naming. Beam 230 by 600 M25 grade. Okay, that is actually written here. Property modifier, whether has been assigned or not. That all things you can see from here. Local axis of the beam, check this option. Let's say apply. These all are the local axis of the beam. So these all are the what things you want to see in your view over your model. That all things you make enable from here. Finally, we will see everything here. Go to object other assignments. आपको shear wall का देखना है label. So let's say apply label of the shear wall P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. Local axis of the shear wall, say apply. So local axis of each shear wall you can see, that is spindle. What is the spindle? This is another thing. Links, design strip, that is all are the advanced topics. Okay, right now you have to focus only to pier labels. So ये shear wall का label होता है, वो यहाँ से आप देख सकते हैं. Yeah, this is all the important things and this is all about the introduction about this set display option. So this is all about today.